Chart imitates life. I have a chart for you. The Brennan Center at NYU put this together, and this isn't about any one race you need to watch tomorrow night. This is explaining overall what's going to happen tomorrow night and what's going to happen to the next 2 years of the Trump presidency. The left column here shows the popular vote for Congress. It's not the way we usually think about this type of election, but if you add up all the votes people cast nationwide for a Democratic member of Congress versus all the votes people cast nationwide for a Republican member of Congress, you can get a national popular vote for Congress. Are the American people voting for a Democrat to represent them in Congress or a Republican? If Democrats nationwide come out on top on that number, and they almost certainly will, that'll be the number on the left column there. So maybe Democrats will win the overall congressional popular vote by 2 points or 4 points or 16 points, whatever. If the popular vote came in like that, well, then the middle column shows historically what you would expect that to translate to in terms of the number of seats in Congress the Democrats would be expected to gain. So if Democrats win the popular vote for Congress by 2 points, historically, you'd expect that to translate into Democrats picking up 19 new seats in the House. They win the national popular vote by 4 points, you'd expect them to win 23 seats in the House, and you go on down the line. But now look at the column on the right. That shows not the historic gain that you'd expect. That shows the actual projected seat gain in the House for Democrats based on how carved up the congressional maps are now to benefit Republicans. So if you just start at the top there, if the Democrats win the national popular vote by 2 points, historically speaking, you'd expect that to result in Democrats picking up 19 seats. But because the districts are drawn so aggressively now to favor Republicans, instead of 19 seats, what Democrats would actually pick up this year with that kind of a vote margin is more like 5 seats in the House. Not 19, but 5. And on down the line. There's a couple things to take away from this chart. One is that Republicans have stacked the deck for control of Congress. That's what this is about. After the 2010 census and the 2010 elections, Republicans won control of so many states all across the country. They redrew the lines to benefit their party in the voting booth. They made congressional districts that they could win so much more easily. And that's basically why the Brennan Center created this chart, to show how hard the Republicans have made it for Democrats to win seats in Congress, even when they win more votes. How hard the Republicans have tilted the playing field in their own favor. I mean, Democrats tomorrow only need 23 seats to win control of the House. From a historical perspective, that means Democrats should only need a 4-point swing in the popular vote to win 23 seats. But because of the way the map is now, because of how hard the playing field is tilted toward Republican, that 4-point swing in the popular vote would only give them actually 7 seats in Congress. That's not enough. Instead, thanks to how tilted the field is toward the Republicans, Democrats would need to win the popular vote tomorrow by more than 10 points, by between 10 and 11 points, in order to pick up the seats they need to win the House. This is why former President Barack Obama, former Attorney General Eric Holder, keep talking about this as the one most important thing that they are now working on in Democratic politics since they both left office. They want to try to unstack the deck so Republicans no longer have this structural advantage that makes it almost impossible for Democrats to win federal office. The other thing to take away from this chart is that now, since we are on the eve of the election, we're trying to figure out if Democrats can actually pull it off. Can Democrats win the popular vote for Congress big enough that they can actually get those 23 seats? Can they? Well, here's the last 4 big national polls on this. Yesterday's NBC News Wall Street Journal poll has Democrats up generically by 7 points. CNN poll has Democrats up by 13. ABC News Washington Post has Democrats up by 8. NPR PBS Marist has Democrats up by 9. Those are the last 4 big national polls. And the spread between those last 4 big national polls is the reason there's so much suspense about what's going to happen tomorrow. Because if the Brennan Center is right about how gerrymandered the House is now, if you go by the low end, by the NBC Wall Street Journal poll, that's only got Democrats up by 7. Based on that, Democrats will not pick up enough seats tomorrow to take the House. That said, if you go to the other end of the range, go to the CNN poll, that has Democrats winning the popular vote in Congress by 13. Well, then, yeah, they would pull it off with a cushion. That's the kind of range we've been looking at. Those are the kind of factors that are driving everybody's anticipation about what's happening tomorrow. Anybody telling you they know what's going to happen tomorrow is not telling you the truth. There really is a whole range of possibilities, even with the deck totally stacked in Republicans' favor.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.